Hello and welcome to Chasing the Finish podcast. My name is Mike. I'm joined by Ben and Jake, and we are here for episode 30. I can't believe we've made it this far, to be honest. And it's down to you guys that are watching and you guys that have been waiting so patiently, because we were chatting a load of nonsense for 6 minutes when we should have been live on here. It's been possible to get to 30, so thank you very much. Let's come to you first, Jake. How's things with yourself? You all good? Busy man at the moment?
Yeah, a bit stressed, but all in all, decent. Apart getting a lot of abuse from Ben. Don't know why. It's just in one of his phases being nasty. But other than that, I'm all right. I'm all good in the hood.
Good stuff. We'll talk a little bit about your what you've been up to recently in a while, and you can update us, even though we sort of got a bit of an update, but the listeners at home haven't, so they can look forward to that. Ben, other than being nasty, are you all good, mate?
I'm all right. I'm celebrating for the 30th. I am. You join me erotically from my bed. I've been kicked to the bedroom tonight because I've got a busy house. So, let's see how that goes. But I'm all right, mate. I'm all right. How are you?
Good stuff. Yeah, I'm not bad, mate. Not bad. Been working away. I was a little bit worried I wasn't going to get back in time today, but luckily we finished quite early, working away in Leighton Buzzard, which is dangerously close to that place beginning with L. So luckily I didn't have to go anywhere near it, but yeah. So I was back at 2:00. So this afternoon I've actually been doing a lot of prep for tonight. So not to put any pressure on myself, but yeah, I've managed to get a bit of structure, and we've got some big news to announce at the end of the show. So make sure you stay tuned for that. Like I say, you guys that are watching live, or even if you're rewatching it back, thank you very much for your support. It is, truly appreciated. And if you are watching live, drop a comment in as well. Let us know what you're thinking. Doesn't matter whether it's related to what we're saying. It can be absolutely anything you want, and we'll read them out and we'll interact with you. Now, Ben, I saw you on Sunday. But before we talk about Sunday, let's talk quickly about Saturday. There is a vlog out at the moment. So if you haven't already, make sure you go and check out the vlog from the National Running Show. My first time there, your second time there, and you went back on the Sunday as well. You can tell me a little bit about the Sunday as well, actually, because I didn't really speak to you much, other than ringing you because I won something. So, the National Running Show, good, wasn't it? Good Absolutely fun. Packed.
Yeah, we were saying this, weren't we? I think if you see there was still a bit of haul they probably could have used. They could have stretched it out a little bit more because at times, especially mainly on Saturday, it got very congested. And got very warm in there as well, which, as I say, thankfully you weren't wearing your jeans because you would have been sweating. But yeah, all in all, it was a good day, man. I really, really enjoyed it, and nice being there, obviously, with you, and seeing it from your point of view as well. First time, so yeah, no complaints from me at all.
Yeah. I should have gone with Gab's suggestion on the YouTube video from the week before. Should have gone in my Bob Marley shorts, I think, and maybe flip-flops, because it was absolutely roasting in there, but you pack them in like sardines. I think the weird thing was, though, and I've been to a couple of sort of events at the NEC before, and they're more spaced out. So I don't know, there was quite a bit. So they had hall 17 and 18, but there was quite a bit of the hall that wasn't being used. So I just think maybe next year, whilst we're talking about next year, by the way, the date's been announced. It's the 30th and 31st of January. Get that off my list. Tick that. I've mentioned that now. So that's next year's date. So make sure you book your tickets whenever they come out. But maybe next year they can look at using that space that they sort of barricaded off.
Yeah, I don't know if they just underestimate how many people are going to be there. I don't know.
Was it that busy last year?
Probably. I mean, it's hard to say, and it's a long time ago, but I do remember it being quite busy last year, but I don't know. Hey, look, I'm not an organizer. You know, if I was to organize an event, maybe I'd think of that. But yeah, I don't know. But that's what I'm saying. Compared to Sunday was so relaxed. Do you know what I mean? You could take a slow walk around. Didn't feel like you was being rushed because it is extremely overwhelming, especially when we walked in. I mean, we were one of the first ones in, and even then, it was that many people and just so many stalls, and you kind of don't know which way to go first. But
yeah. Well, we've been joined by someone who we actually saw at the running show. Evening, Carl. Carl Lewis is with us. Hope you're all good, mate. And yeah, you've been doing brilliantly on Strava. I do see your runs pop up, and know that you've been to Isabel Trail again since we last went. So hope everything's been all good there. But yeah, I think just to round off the chat on the National Running Show, I don't really know what I was expecting before I went, but it definitely exceeded those sort of expectations. I knew it would be busy. I knew there'd be a lot of people there, but I perhaps wasn't expecting it to be. I think it was just a nice reminder, not to go all soppy and all that and deep, but it was just a nice reminder of how inclusive the running community is. Because you always feel a bit conscious, I do, whenever you turn up to maybe an event, not parkrun, because parkrun really is inclusive, but an event sometimes you can turn up and you almost feel like you're looking at people and you're thinking, bloody hell, you know, he's like a whippet and, you know, he looks fast and, you know, and then I am here and it's like, do I look out of place? Are people looking at me thinking, what's this guy doing? Is he watching? You know, so it was a nice reminder and everyone was so friendly. I think I said to you at one point, considering how many people there were, and if I was to liken it to another event that I go to every year that is just as busy, the German market, you get people stopping in front of you and you're like, bloody hell, it's too busy. You'd have thought it'd kick off or someone would say something. No, nothing at all. Everyone was super pleasant at the running show. So, and you know what? It felt like I saw every stall 3 or 4 times. I bet you bottom dollar there were stalls there that I didn't even go to once. Like, it's that big.
Yeah.
Little bit disappointed I didn't manage to get an event booked on the day because that was one of the things I wanted to tick off. I was dangerously close and I kept getting drawn back to the Benidorm 10K stand. That was something I was really intrigued by. I thought I'll test the waters and send a picture to Beck, and I ended up entering a few competitions because a lot of stalls had QR codes, so you could like enter. So I don't know why. I think I entered one to win a place at the Berlin Marathon. I mean, I've put my details down in that. I won't win, but you just never know, do you? It's a luck of the draw. So,
but you did win.
What did I win?
Do you want to see what you won?
Did. Was you going off camera to get it?
Yeah. Look at the size of
There
that
we
bubble.
go. That is massive. What the hell?
I cannot wait to see you with this on your head, I tell you.
Well, the story behind that, if you've not watched the vlog, first things first, go and watch it, leave it a like. One thing which did surprise me, but when you think about it, I guess that would be a sort of audience because, especially for people like me, I like going for a run and then I like having a beer. Well, there was 3 sort of brewers there that were non-alcoholic. So Erdinger were there, and I must say, I don't really drink non-alcoholic beer, but that Erdinger was fabulous. So much so that I've got 8 of them. They were doing a deal, and they're on the way. So I think they're arriving tomorrow, so just in time for the weekend. And there was, you know, one of those frames that you get them at weddings and parties. I think I had Ben take a picture of me with it, with me in it, and I tagged them in it. And I didn't know that you did that as a competition. On the Sunday, I get an Instagram message, congratulations to our 2 p.m. winner. So I ring up Ben. I say, Ben, I've won this. I'm not there. Can you go and get it? Didn't know what it was that I'd won. Sent a picture of that. So yeah, I'm looking forward to wearing that. We're at Parkrun this weekend. I'll talk about that in a little bit. So maybe, depending on the weather, I'll wear that for the parkrun. So yeah, but yeah, looking forward to sticking that on my bonds. So yeah, very good. And then Sunday, you obviously went. You've talked about that. We did the Centurions Grand Prix, race number. This is where I get mixed up. Race number 3, but technically on the calendar, race number 4, because one of them was cancelled. I think. I said to Simon, I will always get it wrong when I talk about the Centurion Grand Prix. But yes, my number as its pride of place right next to the laptop. So we did that. You had a target of sub 32 in mind when we were speaking on Sunday. I had a target of well, I thought I was going to get 110. Let's put it that way. How did it go?
I feel like I paced it a hell of a lot better than last time, because last time I didn't have my watch, so I was going completely off feel. I knew I'd went off too quick, and I think it was, I can't even remember what my time was, to be honest. It was in the 32-minute bracket. So I thought this time maybe I've been having a few more runs. Got my watch this time. I was hoping for sub 32. I didn't get it. I just about got sub 33. But the run felt better. I don't understand, to be honest. But yeah, but I'll take it. I don't know where I finished, because obviously the results haven't come out yet or anything. But I seem to think it was about 9th, so it's not too bad. But it's just annoying when you can do so much better. Do you know what I mean? Once again, I was saying it the weekend, like where I was, I could have been doing close to sub 30. Do you know what I mean? So, but it's all part of the process, and hopefully we'll be, I'll get it back as quick as I've lost it. So, yeah, can't complain with that. But yeah, I enjoyed it as always. Get to run around Babs Mill, can't complain. And then obviously we joined you for your final lap, didn't we?
You did, and yeah, like I said at the time, I wouldn't have finished it as quick, in inverted commas, as I did if I didn't have you boys. So yeah, you joined me with Gav and Simon. I don't know if Gav and Simon sort of planned to. I know they were going for a warm down, or whether when they started the warm down, they were like, oh, here's Mike and Ben. So yeah, was joined by you three, and it was brilliant. But you just said then that you, even though you didn't get your target, you almost felt like you ran better and you were maybe sort of happier.
It's something that you've been going through, isn't it?
I was exactly the same. I said I think you spoke to me maybe near the end, and I said, I don't know why, but I think I did roughly about the same time. Again, because the official results aren't out, I think it will be seconds in it rather than minutes.
I don't know. I feel like you're doing about a good minute and a half, probably better.
We'll see what happens when the results come out, but I think it'll be seconds. Whether it's quicker or slower, I don't know. But I don't know what. I just felt really good. Like I was chatting to the marshals whenever I was passing them. Loads of the runners were, congratulating me. I mean, it helps that we know quite a few of the runners now, which is good. But there was none of this, because there was a girl, I think her name was Phoebe. She had a Cov Sphinx running top on, and she was run walking as well. And we were passing each other a lot. And then there was one point where I got ahead, and there was no point in it where I was thinking, I'm dead last here, or, we keep overtaking. And I was never once thinking anything negatively. I just thought, right, it's quite stop-start today. That's how it is. And I think just sort of feeling like that almost made me sort of run a bit better, because that last lap when I had you boys with me, we were doing some good stretches in terms of running for quite some time, and I just felt like really positive. And if I can just learn to be like that whilst also having that edge about me to be quicker and maybe push myself, then I'll be on to a winner. I really will. And I really, really have to give credit to Ross, the Orange running guy, for this, because ever since he's come on and said, try not to worry too much about your times. Yes, of course, want to better yourself and, build on your times. But having that mindset of going out and thinking, right, I'm going out. I'm going to get around this course. I'm not that bothered about my time. It's just like, it's almost like a secret I've been needing to hear for years, because that was by far and away the best I've ever felt on a run. And it was lovely as well, because, and I wish I got their names, I do, but I think there were about 3 or 4 ladies waiting at the finish line at the Centurion race, and they waited, because I was last, I finished last. They waited for me to come in. I don't know who they were. They don't know who I was, but they didn't have to wait. You know, the weather wasn't the most pleasant, so they could have gone and whatnot. But they did. They waited and they clapped me in, so that was lovely. And I think it just typifies the nature of Centurion Running Club. I know not everyone there is from Centurion Running Club, but no matter what running club they're from, everyone's just super friendly. Like I had people saying well done to me, and from different running clubs. We obviously now know a lot of the Centurion lot, like Chris, Gav, Simon. Be awkward if I've missed anyone off, but you know, and we're getting other people saying, you know, like, well done and everything, and I just love it. It almost had that parkrun feel to it. So yeah, really happy. Looking forward to seeing. You know, I know we just talked about not worrying so much about times, but looking forward to seeing maybe that time difference. And I thought that was going to be my last Centurions race, but we're going to do it again on the 1st of March. We were just talking to you then, Jake. What did you say about that? You reckon you might jump in on that, or?
I should be, as long as there's nothing, as long as I've got nothing going on and there's nothing in the house that needs doing. I don't see why not. I don't want to say yes and then pull out, so I'll get a load more grief off Ben again. So,
well, yes. Well, obviously, it'd be great if you can join us, and you know, we're going to talk about. We've booked a couple of events now, so, and I know you've sort of had your eye on some as well, Jake. So we can talk about that. But Ben, myself, and you have booked. Well, I've booked 2 events, but we've both booked a mutual event. Yes. And it's the first time we've both done it, and we are very lucky to get in, because as of 2 days ago, there was 75% full. We're in the 2 castles.
Whoa. Yeah, I was absolutely gagging to get in it. I obviously wanted to do it last year and I missed out. I just wasn't quick enough. I kind of underestimated how quick it sold out. So this year, as soon as it come round, I was, you know, got notifications on, ready to go. Obviously banged it in the chat so you could see. But yeah, booked it straight away, and yeah, really, really looking forward to it. Obviously, and then you jumped on it as well, so even better. And
Ben Stevens is on it, and
Stevens, Tom Hodson. Yeah,
did Tom Hodson book it as well? Yeah,
I'm sure he did.
Yeah, I think he did.
Yeah, so you were close, weren't you, Jake? It's sort of just fallen at a bit of a rotten time for you, hasn't it?
Yeah, like we had, obviously, when you was at the running show, we went up to Liverpool to surprise Rob. So like that was a bit of an expense, more than what we thought it was going to be. So if I suppose if we never done that, then I probably would have just bit the bullet and done it. But just gotta be. I just didn't want to just do it and then leave myself short for the rest of the month as such. So it's a shame I can't, but I just had to think a bit more logically than just going gun-ho with stuff. But I think once Feb pay comes along, I'll be booking Wolverhampton, and I might throw another one in the mix. Trying to have a look around, see if we can find any like hidden gems like Napton. So,
well, that's it. We've already said it though, haven't we? Like these events, they're not cheap. Do you know what I mean? And the more the book, they you know, they stack up. And you know,
they're not cheap, especially when you're chucking in donations left, right, and bloody centre.
Yeah.
So it's 34 quid for 2 castles. If anyone's thinking about booking it, there were tickets earlier on today because I had a look because one of the other lads was asking in the chat. In fact, it might even have been you, Jake. I'm not sure, but I had a look and there were tickets still available earlier. 34 quid if you're unaffiliated, and I went through it, and it was a little bit more complicated than a normal booking procedure, and I somehow ended up donating £5. Now, I don't know where that donation goes, but yeah, you're welcome. So 39 quid it was for me, but it's 34 quid. So reasonably priced considering it's quite a big one on the calendar because where was it now? I think we went to Stratford Parkrun a couple of times and you're almost inundated with Two Castles t-shirts there, aren't you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you're going to get one this year, aren't you, Mike? That would be good.
I don't know if I put down for one because I was talking at the start about how inclusive the running community is. And this is totally my fault, by the way, because I've made myself this big. But they don't make running shirts big enough for me. They usually only go up to an XL.
It might be worth putting an email in and saying it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I have also had the thought of... Yeah, I've had a thought about... I'd probably only do this for the Solihull half because that was my first half. But buying a T-shirt and getting it framed with the medal. But yeah. I don't know. Maybe I'm going to start collecting race T-shirt because I've got a drawer right underneath my my desk that I set up here in, and now it looks like I keep my running numbers now. So
see, I regret not doing this now. I really do.
These aren't all of them, but
yeah. I just feel like I would have liked to do something because you see people all the time with as you say, framed and stuff like that. I think more mine are screwed up, probably bin them, or I think I've kept a couple that have kind of maybe mean a little something to me, or think like races that I've been proud of or whatever. But yeah, I do wish I'd kept more. Maybe that's what I do going forward from now on. But
definitely. But yeah, Two Castles. Look, it's going to be a challenge for me because from what I've heard, it is quite a hilly bugger. It's from Kenilworth Castle to Warwick Castle, or the other way around, or
one or the other. I can't.
Yeah, think it's the way around. When I looked the other day, because I was looking still.
There we go.
It is there lingering. It's lingering like a bad smell. I know I'm going to end up doing it, and it's going to be sold out, and I'll be like, I should have done it earlier.
Well, we shall see. We shall see. But yeah, that's booked in. That's in the diary. Another one to add to the list. I sort of said the same as what you said a minute ago, Jake. I think it's so easy to think, oh, I'll book that. Oh, I'll book that. And next thing you know, you've got 4 or 5 events. And sometimes I'm terrible for this. I don't necessarily check the diary beforehand. So I'll end up booking something and it'll clash with something else. Or I'll do myself dirty where I've got 2 runs back to back. And yeah, it does get a bit messy. And I was chatting to Beck about this, and she says, well, maybe don't do as many this year, because I did a lot of events last year. But the rate that I'm going at the moment, I'm going to end up doing just as much. So, because I have also booked in for March the Lincoln 10K, which I'm delighted about. It just dawned upon me that the other week, I think one of the lads that I know from around here put it on his story that he'd booked. And I was sat there and I said to Beck, says, I've not booked Lincoln yet. And Lincoln's one of those ones now that I'm going to do every year. You know, the 10K is brilliant. You've done it before, Ben. Unfortunately, can't join me this year. But the support, just for anyone that might be, interested, the support and the whole day. I mean, it helped, that it coupled up with good weather. But it's just brilliant event, isn't it?
Yeah. I actually said to you, I think last year it was my event of the year, which is crazy to think about considering what we've done. But
your fastest 10K as well.
It was. So it was sub 37. So God knows how I did that. But because it was quite, I wouldn't say warm, but there was a little something. It was good weather, weren't it? Do you know? I know I don't usually run well I don't usually run well in the heat as well. But yeah, I absolutely love the route. Really nice. Obviously, we had a bit of trouble getting out of there, but yeah. But in terms of an event, I mean, it was packed at the start as well. It's annoying because I say event of the year, it wasn't a great start and it wasn't a great end, but just everything in between just absolutely made up for it. And yeah, I'm really gutted I can't do it again this year. So, but enjoy.
Yes, yeah. Well, I'm going for. I think, like I've said on the pod previously, the events that I'm redoing, I'm now in the mindset of I'm going there with a plan of getting a better time. So my aim is to to get a PB for that course. So that's the plan. If I do want to do new routes, of course, and new races, but if I do go back to ones I've done before, then the plan straight up is get a PB. None of this, I'll be happy to finish. No, I've got to go there with a mindset. I know I've just talked about not worrying too much about times, but when it comes to that, hopefully I can use the past of not worrying too much to then channel, being, competitive and pushing myself for those PBs. So fingers crossed. But we've been looking at quite a few events, and I was going to say something then, but that wouldn't have come out right. The Napton was mentioned. Sorry, I'll have to tell you afterwards what I was going to say. Napton was mentioned in the group chat. It's that time of year again, even though it's in October. So I think we're all looking at doing that, aren't we? And are you jumping in as well, Jake? You up for Napton again?
I enjoyed Napton. I do agree. I don't know who said it, but there is a stint where it's just quite lonely.
It's that bit after 5K on that road.
You turn the corner and it's just lonely.
Yeah.
Maybe not for you, Ben, because you're quick, but
no, you do. It does feel like a bit of a stretch. It really does. But what an event, though. I think obviously it'd be our third time doing it, Mike. To be fair, I was pushing for it to just be an annual one, like no question. Although you didn't seem like you were on it this year. Obviously you booked the Wembley
last year though.
Yeah, I had to convince you last year, didn't I? Whereas this year you had booked the Wembley 10K, which was on the same date, but by chance, maybe divine intervention, it's been moved a week before.
Yeah, the Wembley is now the 11th, which also means I can't bloody do it. Do you know, typically, I after all that, and I said I can't do it, the gig that I'm going to isn't on the Saturday. It's not the night before. It's the Friday. So I would have been fine either way.
Oh.
So, but yeah, it's been moved the week before now. So it's Sunday, the 11th of October, the Wembley 10K. I'm at a wedding in York on the Saturday, the 10th of October. So I'll not be able to do that because we'll probably stay over. And I don't know if getting up super early the day of the race to get a train down to Wembley is going to be viable, to be honest. So, yeah, I'm probably, even though I've booked, I've probably got to knock that one on the head. So if anyone wants a spot for Wembley 10K, hit me up and I'll give it you.
So the thought of going into London for an event, sounds like torture, man.
No, but Ben, I'm not just saying this. The Wembley 10K is unbelievable. Like we talk about, I think we did on our end of year podcast, we talked about some of our favourite events. I think Wembley was my event of the year. And I talk about Lincoln being fantastic support. It obviously helps that when I've done these events, the weather has been great. It was August bank holiday when I did it last year. So they've obviously changed it to an October now. So it's not going to be the same weather. But honestly, the support was incredible. It was absolutely jam-packed. The route was amazing. You finish, and Wembley Way is you finish on Wembley Way. So Wembley Stadium is right in front of you. So it's the guys over at ASICS, I never know how to pronounce it. They host it. So they've got like a bit of a pop-up shop there as well. So yeah, really well organised, good route, and it meant a trip to the Green Man afterwards with Cam. And I'll never turn down a trip to the Green Man in Wembley. If you know, you know. So yeah, if anyone wants a place at Wembley this year, drop me a message and you can have mine. I don't think you can transfer it. You might have to take it in my name. I'm not sure, but we can sort all that out because I can't do it. But now I know that my gig is on Friday night. Then yes, Napton seems to be calling again for a third year. So, by the way, obviously people that watch this will know our love for Napton. If you want to join us this year, obviously we're 8 months off, so we've got lots of time to sort this. But if you want to join us, drop us a message. and we'll absolutely sort it out. It's got a CV postcode, but it's sort of like Northampton Way. We can sort all the details in later on. But if that sounds like something that's up your street, then yes, please do join us. I've got a little bit of running news. It's mainly just a bit of housekeeping, to be honest, especially for people that are from the Midlands. I'll start off with the Birmingham 10K, another event which I absolutely love. It popped up on my timeline the other day, that this is awkward now because I'm not going to be able to find it. But they have, here we go. They've changed where you finish the Birmingham 10K now. So anyone that's done it will know that. I don't even know how to describe it, but if you picture where the markets are in the bull ring, there's like a wasteland next to that where there's just nothing on it, but it's this huge wasteland. You finished there basically, but now there's a new finish area of Aston University on Jennings Road. So you run past Birmingham New Street, which you did anyway, but you also run past Selfridges. Now, from recollection, I've done that event twice. You didn't previously run past Selfridges, like right past it. So that's new. And then obviously you have to run past Moore Street, Queensway to get onto Jennings Road. So they put a post out just saying it starts at Centenary Square, taking in Birmingham icons like the Jewellery Quarter, which is not new, the Mailbox, not new, and Grand Central. 10K and half marathon will finish in style, running past the bull ring in the final mile and down Jennings Road to finish line before celebrating their achievement in the events village at Aston University. And the good thing about the Birmingham 10K is it's on the bank holiday weekend, and the weather's usually good. So you can usually finish that, have a bite to eat, have a couple of drinks, and you've got the next day off. So happy days. So yeah, a new route for those that are doing the Birmingham 10K. So if you're doing it for the first time, I am led to believe that finish is on a slight hill as well. So they've done that for you. They've chucked that in.
Is there a reason why? Have they said why they've done that, or
they haven't said why? But my guess would be maybe they're starting to build on that land. Because why else would you change it? Because it does work. I obviously can't picture it when it's not being used for the finish of the run, but it is huge. Like you could get, I would say, 3 complexes on there, and knowing the way that Birmingham city centre is now, and that is right next to Chinatown and all sort of popular areas, that's why. So. Yes, that there was that bit of news. Little bit of news from over the ponds in America. This one popped up on the Parkrun tourism page a couple of days ago. So the closest parkrun to the Super Bowl is having a bit of a football-themed fiesta this weekend. Tailgating encouraged. So Sunnyvale Bay Trail Parkrun, that's a mouthful. Try saying that after a few Erdingers. They put on their Parkrun Facebook page that this Saturday, suit up in your favourite football jersey and hit the Sunnyvale Bay Trail Parkrun event. Whether you're sprinting like a wideout or cruising like a quarterback, it's all about team spirit, high fives, and finish line glory. They then tell you what time the first timers brief is and when they're going to be starting. It says with a view to kick off at 8 a.m. sharp. So I didn't know that parkrun in America starts at 8 a.m. So that's news to me. And then the best bit, and the bit that makes me the most jealous, we will be also tailgating in the end zone. Please bring a small plate of snacks to share. So how good would that be? So if you happen to be in America this weekend and fancy doing a parkrun, or you're going over to watch the Super Bowl, there's your parkrun of choice this weekend. So yes. And then, unfortunately, just some sort of sad news, which I did see on Instagram, just to finish on. Parkrun put a post out, and this was last week. So this was last Friday. My apologies. That Parkrun, unfortunately, announced the passing of a former board director of theirs, Hannah Corn. It said that Hannah was known for her courage, relentless humour, and was a huge advocate for parkrun during her lifetime. Hannah will be remembered fondly and missed by many across the parkrun community. Our thoughts are with Hannah's family, friends, and all that knew and loved her. So we obviously pass on those condolences as well, and hope that her friends and family are coping well. So that's the running news that I managed to pick up this week. Before we talk about parkrun and then the big announcement for everyone, you are obviously a very busy man at the moment, Jake, because you've bought a house. So just quickly, how's things going with the house? What you got done? What you got left to do?
We barely touched the surface, really. That's a saying, I don't know.
Scratch the surface.
Yeah, that one too. We haven't done that either. We started upstairs, just started ripping some of the stuff out of the main bedroom and a spare. Got onto the bathroom, that's a mess. But other than that, look, it's just long days line at the moment until we basically took out what we don't need and we can start the painting and decorating, which I can't wait for. My issue is I've got no patience, which I'm probably sure you both know. But like I was doing something for Tana, I was losing my temper and I couldn't do it. So I was like, you have a go. And then I just got up and went into the other room, started doing something. She's like, show me what you're doing. I was like, nothing. Just started on something that didn't need doing yet. So then she's like, just do one thing at a time. I was just getting wound up, and then couldn't get this wooden plank out, and I was losing my temper because I painted over the screw. So I just put my foot straight through the plank of like timber, snapped it. So this is fun now. I can start wrecking the gaff. But
you stick to your day job, Jake.
Yeah. So I'm not very. I've realised I'm not very hands-on. I'm basically like Tan's like, right, do this. I'll be like, yeah, right, sound. So I'm there for lifting, heavy lifting and moving stuff and trying to keep morale up.
And,
good way to learn, though. Good way to learn.
Yeah, definitely. Like, just like even down to the fact that I'm sure Tam was like, "Can I trust you with a drill?" I was like, "Are you taking the mick out of my life?" Like, I was like, "How do you turn it on?" No, but yeah, it's all learning. Like Tan's pretty hands-on. To be fair, she's quite good with all that stuff. So it's like being at work, getting told what to do left, right, and centre. So, but the way I look at it, if I just listen and don't aggravate her, I don't get in trouble. So trying to keep the domestics down, but I'm struggling because, like I said, I got no patience. So.
Wow,
you're I'm totally the same. We were talking before we come on air, and I was talking to Ben, and I remember once, even though my job is hands-on, I remember once Beck asking me to put a shelf up, and let's just say that shelf is still not up. So I lost my head before I even started. So I'm completely the same. Have you had the chance to look at any potential running routes around by your new gaff, Jake? Obviously, you're not too much of a stranger to the area, but
I haven't. I'm sure I could tap Ben up because we're a bit of a stone throw away. So, but I did get back out since the cruise, and it was an absolute nightmare.
Yeah, tell us, man. Doesn't matter if it was bad. Tell us.
Oh, horrible. I was like, obviously finished the first full day at the house. I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna run back. And Tam was like, well, you leave a bit early. I've got to go to B&M and we should be back about the same time. It wasn't. She was back way before me and I was struggling. Mapped out a route and I was like, yeah, 5K. I was expecting to get there for I was being a bit naive, saying, oh, yeah, 33 minutes. I'll do it piece of piss. Nothing. 42 minutes it took me. I was in the trenches. I was struggling. I had a phone call from Virgin. She wouldn't leave me alone. Like, this is not the time. She's like, are you okay? Is everything okay? I was like, yeah, just trying to run. She's like, oh, you heavy breathing? I was like, yeah, I'm struggling. But I was like, in my head, I'm like, I'm glad I got back. I was just knackered, but I was like, I'm glad I've done it. First one in the tank since getting back. And I was going to go out today. I had all my stuff on. went to look at bathrooms, come back. I was like, I'll just run from the house because we had to pop over. And it was just, I just got like, I got in the house, done what we needed to do, come out. I was like, I'm just going to get in the car. And just bowled it completely, just absolutely bowled it. So, turns out it's out tomorrow. So, I think what I might do, because we're over the house, is just run back again and just do the same route. And then that was my time before, and just try and improve on it every time. So,
I think when you've been away, and especially, it's relevant for you because you're on your honeymoon. So it's easy for any holiday you go on to overindulge and relax and not worry about what you're sticking in your gob and whatnot. But I think it's always about the first one back. If you can get that done, it doesn't matter about time. And obviously, I think we obviously said this in the group chat. You're doing a full day at the house, you're ripping stuff out, your body's going to be exhausted, and then you're putting it through the ringer of going for a 5K. So I think the fact that you managed to get out, I'm sure you're not too worried about the time, and it's certainly not a true indication as to what you're capable of, because we all know what you are capable of. So, yeah, I think the fact that you've managed to break that duck and get back out, obviously, you have days like today where you've been in your running gear and you've just not fancied it. Bloody hell, I've lost count the amount of times I've got changed after coming home, and then I talked myself out of it, and in 5 minutes I'm back on the sofa in my tracky bottoms and I got the laptop on my lap. So, it happens, but I've no doubt whatsoever that once all the stuff with the house is sort of quieting down a little bit and you're not in as much of a mad rush, or you've done what you need to do, that you'll be back on it in terms of running wise, because the events will come. You'll want to be getting back to parkrun, and yeah, I've no doubt it'll come back. I really do. But we get it, don't we, Ben? It is tough, and we've no doubt that he can get back to where he was, can't we?
He can. It's just as soon as you can, obviously you go through busy periods, as Mark's just said, but it's as soon as you get that little bit of consistency, it's jump on it, don't let it slip. Just keep it going, and obviously just I say once you're moved anyway, I'm a stone throw away, so anytime you need, anytime you need, I'll be running around, I'll be knocking on your door. But anytime you just need, look, I feel like I've not got the motivation to do it on my own. Can you just, even if it's just half the run or a quarter of it, just give me a shout and I'll be there. But we're gonna get you both sorted this year. Promise. I
want to get under 30 by June. That's my plan.
Yeah, it's a big year for you.
It's feasible, I think. So
yeah, we've got it. Yeah. So where do you want to go now, Mike? What's the plan?
Yeah, no, it is a big year. And sorry, I was hoping you were going to chat for a little bit longer because I've just got the picture ready for the next thing that we're going to talk about. This weekend, amongst all the back and forth between these two in the WhatsApp group, which you guys won't have seen, we are making a return to a parkrun, and that parkrun is no other than Oaklands. So as you can see by this picture, a very sunny day if you're watching on YouTube or Spotify. Ben Stevens, myself, Tom Hodson, Ben and Farmy. It was a ridiculously hot day in June that we last went. Ben, did you finish first in that? You did, didn't you?
I mean, you said it. Do you know what I mean?
I'm just saying. Yeah,
I think it was. Oh, I don't even know. I want to say it was sub 19, but I don't know. But as I say, I do not run well in heat, so it was a struggle, man. Proper.
Yeah, a struggle to finish first. My heart bleeds for you. Whilst you're talking, I've just got the tiny violin out the top of the drawer for you. But we're returning to Oaklands. Unfortunately, even though the title and the thumbnail suggests Jake can't be with us this week, so the wait for his return shall be that slightly bit longer, but I'm sure it'll be worth it, because that first vlog that we do with all three of us back in it will hit differently. I think the kids say nowadays. So
yeah, having to carry the pod,
Well, you say that, we've got maybe a little bit of a different angle from the podcasts the vlog this week because I've got something arriving tomorrow. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But we obviously didn't have a plan. Don't know what that was here. Sounded like something just crashed in my house. So maybe if I go back downstairs and see a car in the living room, might be a bit of bother. We decided that this week, and I say decided literally as I was hitting go live, that I think this week's task, Ben is going to stick with me. There will be a vlog. Like I say, there'll be a different angle, and you'll have to see what we mean by that. That Ben is going to pace me to a course PB.
Yeah. No, you're right the first time.
No.
These boys are adamant.
We're back to sub 40s.
Back to manifesting.
You've been slacking for a while. Not worrying about time. Wow.
My best time at Oaklands was 42:15. So Ben says that.
Because you're saying this like it's going to be close. Like, I don't know if I can do it. So, 42, that's going to be tough.
Yeah, but on Oaklands, it's tough. It's not flat. You cannot call Oaklands flat.
Calling you flat. That's what I'm calling.
Well, I'm hoping you'll be able to help with the answer here because we've had another comment from Wendell Boy saying, have you ever considered you three running a handicap-adjusted race for a video like the unnamed channel did? No, like the running channel did. Do you know what that is, Ben? Do you know what a handicap-adjusted race is?
I don't because I don't watch the running channel because they are ups. So, yeah.
Well, yeah, okay. I was worried what you were going to say then.
Well, you should have seen what I was doing to their stand, Jake, at the running show.
True. At the running show, they had a stand and they had all post-it notes and they like you could write whatever you want and put on it. And Ben was like, just put CTF on there, just put. And I was like, we can't, man, because it'll come back to us and it'll be like Accrington Stanley rocking up to the Etihad and graffiti.
No, it'll be like when Grimsby knocked Man United out of cup. That's how big we're going to be. It's massive, that is.
Well, I did say I was suggesting some quite bad things, really. It wasn't just CTF on some other stuff, but no, I haven't. But I'm intrigued. I don't want to be copying any videos, but if it's something that we can kind of maybe put a bit of a CTF twist on it, then maybe.
Well, according to Google, and maybe Wendell Boy will put another comment in just to explain it for everyone. But according to Google, a handicap-adjusted race is a competition where participants of varying skill level or abilities are given specific disadvantages or advantages to equalise their chance of winning. So basically, Jake, Ben would be imposed with some penalty to mean he couldn't absolutely blitz us out the water and we might actually have a chance of running.
I thought that's a good idea. We give him a rucksack and then we put both of our weights in him.
Yeah.
Stick loads of bricks on it and
then
you can
go backwards, man.
So, I actually quite like the sound of that. So, yeah, maybe we can do something like that and put a bit of a CTF twist on it. So, yes, we will be at Oaklands this weekend in Yardley in Birmingham, which, if anyone knows the area, basically the park opposite the massive Tesco at Swan Island. So we will be there this weekend. We will be joined by Ben Stevens, who is in this picture. Unfortunately, it's a bridge too far for Tom Hodgson. He's not quite over his injury he's picked up. Obviously, myself and Ben will be there. And we're not sure if we're going to be joined by Josh. Josh has done 2 parkruns with us. He sort of teased us a little bit by asking you where it was and all that. So maybe we'll be joined by Josh. Yeah. Yeah. And my old man, that's his regular one. So he'll be there. Ian Booth, he'll be there as well. He RSVP'd on the Strava Run Club. So if you're in the area that week and you fancy coming along, then come along and we'll say hello. And if you fancy absolutely blitzing it, then be my guest. If you fancy just trotting along at the back, then that's where you'll find me. So, right. Shall we finish the podcast on some exciting news?
Let's. Come on.
Let's. Right. So, well, it's funny you make that noise because We do have noise like that, but
I've usually got it ready. But
well, I know, but why would I start being professional now? So, as you all know, we are playing in the Mental Health World Cup 2026 at Vicarage Road Stadium in Watford on Saturday, the 9th of May. However, before we do that, we need to raise £1,250 to be able to play in the charity. How are you going to do that, you ask? So at the moment, we're on £379. Thank you if you have donated already, by the way. We have to raise the rest of the money by the end of April. So we have put our heads together from what started as a throwaway comment by one of us. I don't know who it was. So whoever it was, damn you, because this is actually happening now. On Saturday, the 21st of March, 2026, starting at 2 p.m. in the Radisson Blu Hotel in the centre of Birmingham, myself, Jake and Ben will be starting the 24-hour running treadmill challenge. I said that all muddled up then, but you know what I mean. 24 hours on a treadmill between us, 3 hosts, 1 treadmill, 24 hours, raising money for our place at the Mental Health World Cup. By the way, I've mentioned this loads already, but if you're not, if you're not clued up on any of it, that £1,250 goes into one big pot. Then that pot is split 4 ways, and that goes to 4 mental health charities. So that's where your money's going if you pledge. So if you do pledge, and if you can pledge, that would be amazing. It will be super grateful. We are yet to sit down and sort logistics out, but we will say this, that the event will be streamed for 24 hours, so you won't miss a minute of it. We'll obviously sort all of that closer to the time. But yeah, we've finally got this off the ground. There was a lot of emails sent from our inbox to different hotels. It actually looked like at one stage last week that this was on, then it was off, then it was back on, then it was off, and we almost were back at the drawing board. But the great guys over at the Radisson Blu have finally, thankfully, confirmed everything. So we've been given a room and a treadmill will be in it, and we just need to sort logistics out between us. But yes, 21st of March, we're starting at 2 p.m. and then running through to the 22nd of March and finishing at 2 p.m. So it's going to be bloody tough. I have absolutely no doubt about that. Of course it is. But Jake, let's come to you first. I mean, the fact that we've managed to get this off the ground from just talking about it is one thing, but how are you feeling about it?
Excited. I think it'll be a good laugh, and I think I'm positive in a sense, but I know come the night shift, that's where it's going to be mentally challenging. But I think we'll all push each other through, so I think that's a bonus. It's just, if you there's no point overdoing it either. If you think you need a break, you need to say, don't be scared. Like, it's between the 3 of us. Like, I have no doubt, like we've said before, Ben will be able to go for like hours on end, and I wouldn't feel great not being able to pull my own weight. So, and I'm sure you're the same, Duff. So, but yeah, you also don't want to overdo it, pull something, and then the others 2 have to pick up the slack. So it's also being smart, really. But yeah, I am buzzing for it now. Now it's completely sorted. It's just one less thing, one less stress for probably more so yourself, isn't it? Really, and yourself then. So.
Yeah, it was quite stressful. I mean, like I say, I can't remember which one of us, mentioned it originally, but the fact that it was just a throwaway comment, like, "Oh, we should do a 24-hour treadmill." Like, when you say stuff like that, you don't really think about the logistics. You're just sort of throwing it out as an idea. It's a bit like saying, "Oh, we could ride a unicorn to the moon and back and see how much we can raise." Like, you just don't think things like this are going to sort of come off the ground. So, yeah, the fact that we're here now, and yeah, like I say, I won't go too much into it because they've done the fact of what they've offered us is incredible for what they've offered it to us as well. But there was genuinely a point where at the start of this week, I thought we were back at the drawing board. But it's back on now, Ben. You're probably the most, what's the word to use? You've probably got your head screwed on the most when it comes to the logistics of this because of you've got that experience and whatnot. But how are you looking ahead to it? How are you feeling for it?
You say that. If anyone's listened to the pod since we started and I've done these longer events, you'll know that my head probably isn't screwed on because my nutrition has been awful and I've suffered in everyone. But no, any chance to do something like this, on this scale, and obviously the opportunity that we've been given, it's, you just got to give it all. But I don't know if you mentioned that, obviously the fact, it's going to be a member of CTF on there at all times.
Yeah.
So that So I think trying to be, as Jake said, strategic about that, and it's gonna be interesting, boys. It's gonna be interesting. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, well, we're hoping to get a few of the lads that are representing Team CTF at the Mental Health World Cup. So just to run through who's playing again, I know I've done this previously, but you've got us three, you've got Chris Pritchard, Tom Hodson, Ben Stevens, Cam Smart, and then my friend from my Watford podcast that I occasionally do, Ben Ayton, who is also a new fan runner and a listener of this podcast. So all of them, apart from Ben Ayton, have appeared on CTF, whether it be on the podcast or on a Finish Line Thoughts or on a vlog. So, we've sort of tried to keep it in-house as best as possible. And even Ben Ayton has sort of said that he'd love to come down and maybe do an hour or two. And bearing in mind, he lives down in Hemel Hempstead, so down in Hertfordshire. So the fact that he's thinking about coming up to Birmingham just to sort of knock off a couple of hours would be amazing. And we know that Ben Stevens is going to come along and do an hour or so. And bearing in mind, he's got the Iron Bridge half marathon on the Sunday as well. So fair play to him for doing so. But we're really excited. We're hoping to raise a lot of money for a good cause as well. I think we've talked at length about mental health on this podcast and the way it's affected us at different times and everything else. So I think it's quite, fitting that we're raising money for such an amazing cause. So, Saturday, the 21st of March, 2026, 2 p.m. start. And the podcast will be going. The treadmill will be going. And like Ben said, someone will be on it at all times. So we'll have a 24-hour live stream going. So, in fact, we've had a message from Colin to say, brilliant, you'll smash it between you all. Thank you, Colin. And we've had a message from no other than Tom himself saying he'll do a couple of hours as well. So, I'm absolutely buzzing for it. So, I think that pretty much wraps up this week's podcast. Quite shorter than what we usually put out. So, hopefully you've enjoyed this. If you have enjoyed the video, please do leave it a like and make sure you hit subscribe as well, because currently we're on 89 subscribers. So we're just 11 off 100. So the road to 100 is well and truly on. So by the end of what we're on Thursday today, but by next Thursday, which I believe would be the 12th, we would like 100 subscribers. And I think that's more than possible. So if you've enjoyed this video, like I say, leave a like and hit subscribe as well. Let's put some music in the vault and then let's call it a night. Come to you first, Ben. What do you want to put in?
Hang on, 1 sec.
Okay.
It's a Red Hot Chili Peppers song. It's not actually like I don't know if it's a well-known one, but I was listening to it today and I thought, do you know what? I could feel myself running to it. It's called Factory of Faith.
Factory.
If you can add that in for me.
Faith, Red Hot Chili Peppers. That is going in. And that is song number 64. What you got for us for song 65, Jake?
You are now asking. I ain't sorted anything, so...
Of course you haven't. You're usually the man in demand.
I know,
do you want me to put mine in? Do you want me to put mine in?
You crack on.
Right. Mine was a toss-up between two, but I think I'm going to go a bit old here. I'm going to go Designer Panda. You'd know it if you heard it. Do you know what? I was in the car the other day, and my mind is like a human jukebox. It just come into my head out of nowhere, and I put it on, and I was bopping along to it, and I thought, do you know what? This is going to be my song this week. What you got for me, Jake?
I'm going to go A Hard Day's Night by the Beatles.
A Hard Day's Night by the Beatles. It's been a hard day's night.
You got it.
Yeah, that one. Yeah. Almost put it in the wrong playlist. So 66 songs on that. By the way, we're doing this, and I love doing this, by the way, the songs, but we've only had 2 saves. So get over to Spotify and search CTF. I know it's not focused there. CTF pod playlist. It's 4 hours and 17 minutes long. Usually the average time of our podcast, but plenty of songs to run to. But really enjoyed tonight. So thank you very much for watching along. The numbers have been great. And thank you very much if you're re-watching this or re-listening to this. Your support is massively appreciated. It really is. There's going to be another vlog, as I say, from Oaklands this weekend. So keep your eyes peeled for that. Give some love to the most recent vlog as well from the running show. As said in the last few episodes now, that is going to be the main sort of bulk of the content is going to be the YouTube vlogs, and then these podcasts are going to be sort of a bit of a side quest, if you like. So, and we're aiming to keep them shorter as well, so which we've done tonight, which is good. But yeah, until next time, keep on trucking and keep on chasing that finish. See you later, guys.